Hello everyone. Today I want to address a situation regarding one of my friends named Car. Now, before I say anything, I know you, Car, are watching this. Don't lie. I know you're watching this. Anyway, my friend Car has actually turned out to be a complete dickhead. He is an emotional manipulator and, how do I explain this? A bad person in general. He's just not morally right now. So let's start off with the emotionally manipulating people. So it turns out he has a boyfriend. I'm not naming his name for obvious reasons, so we'll just call him Dan. Dan was Car's boyfriend from Discord, right? So, turns out Car actually had emotionally manipulated Dan by lying about his voice, and whenever me and some of my other friends and Dan was in a call, Car would leave the call immediately after seeing that Dan was in the call. This is because he didn't want to show Dan his actual voice since he lied about his own voice, and he doesn't want to be seen like that. Now, let's talk about his fake suicide. So, in his description, he has something that says along the lines of, "This is why I wanted to hang myself." I can't remember the rest. I'll be showing an image right here. I'll be blurring about basically everything about him so you guys don't go looking for him, because I know some of you guys. Anyway, and then he faked a suicide to make Dan upset. Now, this is where I come into play, sort of. So, turns out, Car actually used me as a sympathy tool and hated on me behind my back. I'm pretty sure Car sent some totally nice things to Dan behind my back. So, that's certainly cool. An image of what he said will be shown right here. Again, his profile picture will be blurred out. But anyway, he said some really nice things to me, so I'll explain what all of this means. Now, him saying that I forced him to play, that is not true. I never had forced him to play. That is a lie. But he forced me to play a game with him first before. And him saying that, "Oh, I will leak your voice around places," as if I said it. I literally never said that. No matter what you can do, you can't find anything of me saying, "I will leak your voice around places." Those exact words. And there's him saying that he hates me and he can't tell me because he'll either get banned, muted, or even if it's him and me, he'll leak something of mine. If it was you and me, I wouldn't leak anything at all because I already know it's you. Not my IP, my voice, or your real name. I don't know your IP, obviously. Your voice, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know what your voice is since, quote-unquote, you're friends with other people, end quote. Your real name, that's because he threatened to leak my real name, I think. I can't remember that well. But I do take responsibility for saying that I will leak his voice. I never said it in those exact words, but I said it as in a joke way, but for some reason he didn't take it as that, but I can see why, so I take responsibility for that. I am sorry, Car, if you're still watching this from now on. I also forgot to tell you guys that he was using me as a sympathy tool. I'm pretty sure that means, let's pull up a meaning of what a sympathy tool means right now. Now, this is what is a sympathy tool, and he used me as one of these. It's because I wanted to help him. I was worrying about him, but he wasn't. He was okay, but he just wanted to use me to get away from the real life from real life. And I'm guessing to get away from his consequences. So he just used me as a tool and not an actual helper, not an actual person, basically. Now, this chapter would be used to show evidence of what Carr did, so we don't look like we're bluffing and we're lying, which we're not, obviously. This is a serious situation. We're not going to be lying about that stuff. So, first, we'll show evidence that he lied about his face. So, his quote-unquote face reveal will be showed right here. So, it turns out that was just an image of Rambo. I think that was funny, guys, okay? Anyway, so it was just an image of Rambo. Dan even said that, oh, hey, Rambo. So, yeah. Now, here's a video of his quote-unquote real voice shown right here.
Alright, wait, hold on. Hello. I wonder what this sounds like. Hello? Can you hear anything? Hello?
Now, I can't really say that it isn't his real voice. Well, actually, I can really say, because I haven't recorded his actual voice, but I do know that that voice right there was not his real voice. Now, yeah, I know. Sad that I couldn't get his real voice. Wait, actually, yes, I can. I actually can get his real voice. So, now, here is a video clip of his actual voice.
What are you doing here?
I used his voice in one of my ARG videos, so thankfully I actually did get a clip of his voice. So now, we're going to show an image of Carr's supposed cousin talking to Dan. This was because he wanted to seem like he did KMS, which is not a really good thing, because while he was using his cousin act, he was using his normal act while talking to my other friend, which will not be named. We'll just call him AJ. And this happened since Dan wanted AJ to see if he would keep up his cousin act while AJ talked to Carr. Turns out this was actually proven right after he used his normal act with AJ, but used his cousin act with Dan. Now, this is going to be a more shorter chapter because it's just me explaining how we got here and not any other evidence. This all started when a friend of mine, which is now no longer in a server that we are all in right now, we're going to call him Sigma for no reason at all. But it all started when he decided in Gothic Phone to put a sentence with Carr hanging himself. Or at least that's where I think it started. And then he actually drew that, and then we started getting more worried when it kept happening until he moved to a different voice chat. We're not playing Goctophone anymore. We got worried about him. One of my other friends, we're just going to call OC, said that Carr said that he just wanted to be left alone. So we did leave him alone, but we were getting more worried by the second. Until AJ and Dan started to do an investigation. That investigation was started because they were worried about him, but it ended up showing a lot of evidence that he was faking basically everything. So that's how we got to this point. Now, the conclusion is never trust friends that you meet online. You never know if they could be a bad person or not. That's the moral of the story, but the actual conclusion. This is just going to be a quick recap of everything I said before. So, Carr was faking suicide, emotionally abusing Dan, used me as a sympathy tool, faked his voice and age, and face. I think I already said that. And that all happened. AJ and Dan did an investigation to find all of this out. They found it out, and then that's it. That's the end. That's how I got here, specifically, right here, to me making this documentary. Should I call this a documentary? Guys, leave your opinions below. Should I call this a documentary? Maybe? I don't know, Dan. I don't know, man. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Again, do not harass anyone shown in this video. And good day or good night. Hope you have a good rest of your day and night.